Hi, if you are new to EFT, also known as tapping, this video is for you. I'm just going to go over the basic tap points and a couple little things to keep in mind when you're starting out. And the first one is to know that everybody taps a little different. And actually, it's kind of funny because when I went to be certified to become to kind of teach tapping at EFT, the history itself is like everything. It changes and grows as people change, evolve, and grow. So just keep that in mind. You might see somebody doing it slightly different than you, and that's okay because I've been following different instructors, and each instructor teaches it different and just does it a little differently. So before we start, each point you can either use 2 fingers, I think even people go down to 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, you can do your whole hand, you can use both hands, and things like that. And one of the instructors that I followed and learned from mentioned it's not about being perfect. Where in your life have you held yourself back from doing something because you thought you would be perfect first? I know I have. So let perfection go. It's kind of like yoga. It's something else I do and love. When you get on the mat, it's not about being perfect. It's a practice. So same with tapping. I think the most important thing is that you do it. You can't benefit from it if you don't do it. So let's jump in and let's learn these points now. So the first one is the karate chop point. And some people use their hand like this. I tend to go with my fingers, and actually the best advice I heard was do what feels natural. So whatever just happened when you went to go reach for that point, do that because that's you. It's like everything I do. If you've been following me, it's about doing what feels right for you. So 2, 3, I do all fingers usually just to get the whole point and there. So that's the first one, and we always start our beginning right here. At least that's where I've been going. One of my instructors tap way differently than this, but this is where I'll most likely be starting most of the time. It's on the karate chop point. So the next one is the eye. So just at the edge of the eyebrow. And one of the best advice I got for this when I was learning is you kind of feel around and there's a sensitive point and you feel for that. The other advice I heard is, you just kind of go there. Actually, that's for the top of the head, so we'll get there in a minute. But yeah, just feel around for sensitive. So there's the first one. You can do 1 finger, 2. I tend to do about 2 just because that's what fits there. And then same with the end of the eyebrow. So not the temple, but here, just at the end of the eyebrow. It's sensitive as well. So if you feel around for it, you'll find it. And you just tap there. And I use 2 fingers, but again, do what feels right for you. And the other thing that a lot of people do is you can do both sides. You can do both hands or you can just do 1. I tend to do 1 because when I started doing tapping, I was actually reading from a book. And I would follow scripts that were in a book. And then so I had 1 hand holding down the page or flipping the page. And it just feels right to me. So that's what I do. But again, do what feels right to you if you feel like doing it. And one side of the body is connected to certain body parts, like organs and things like that. However, the benefit still works. And we're not going to go into too crazy. This is all just about teaching the points. And again, let perfection go away and just feel around for the sensitive part. And if you feel like, if you feel like you're getting more bang for your buck, EFT tapping with both hands, do it. If you feel like I got this with 1, do that as well. So we have the eyebrow here, the other side here, and then under the eye. And this is, for me, is a very sensitive point, so I'm like, oh yeah. So it's right under the eye, right under, you'll feel the bone. It's about center in the eye there. It's a good place to hit there. And then after that is underneath the nose. So if you really want, like right in the middle where almost there's a little bit of not a fold, but you can feel it. And again, it's about feeling around, and you can find it by feeling. You can actually feel it. It's a little bit more sensitive than anything else. It's under the nose and under the mouth, so between the chin. And this is where there is a crease here usually. And you don't have to go crazy making yourself look foolish like I am right now, but it's just getting right here. And again, it's whatever feels right. I use between 2 to 3 fingers depending on where I'm at. And then the collarbone, so it's just finding where your collarbone is. You can tap with 2 again, or you can just get 1. And again, it's feeling around. Do it feels right. And then the next one is underneath the armpit. So for us women, it's right where our bra sits. If you're a man, it's about, like, if you put your palm, let's say about 2 inches. So, but it's right there. And again, if you feel around, you'll feel it as well. So you just tap. And this one people can do, chicken arms. That's what I do with my children. Or you can go across the other side, either side. Or I've been doing this way. This one's been feeling good for me. But again, do what feels right to you. And every day might be different. But I find that the more I do something, it just becomes natural. Like I don't even think about it anymore. And then the last point that I'm going to talk about today anyways, on our basic, point video for beginners is the top of the head. And best advice for this point is what I said earlier, is you just go, and wherever your hand goes, it's usually where our intuition's really good. Tapping into what we need to know, pun intended, is so it's right at the top of your head. And again, feel for a sensitive point. Like obviously don't go too crazy on pushing, but you'll feel it. You'll know when you're there. But it's usually just like grab your hand. So that's it. So I'll do it one more time real quick. Karate chop point. This is usually when we use our beginning sentence to kind of reinforce like what we're going to work on. Then our eyebrow, like just in the between the brows, right there. And then the other side, not the temple, but over here. I made that mistake before. That's why I'm reinforcing, right? And feel around what feels good. Underneath the eye, underneath the nose, underneath the mouth, collarbone. You can even, people do like double, like they get them both in there, or both here, and then underneath the arm. So you can do 1, 2, opposite eye, side, whatever feels right, whatever you're gonna get there. Because remember, it's not about being perfect. It's, if you feel it's too complicated, you're gonna give up before you see the results that tapping can do for you. So stick with it. You'll find your points. One of the things I read and love is that if you're yawning, you hiccup, you burp, it really is a good sign that it's working for you. I don't always have that happen, but I know at the beginning that's really definitely something that showed up for me. I was yawning a lot or burping, and now I actually just feel the results like within my body. So I hope this has helped, and I look forward to tapping with you throughout the year. Take care and happy tapping.